big cat. Welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. You see, I'm a high priestess, light walker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste! Grand Rising Big Cat Fire Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Big Cat Astrology, Big Cat Wave, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. The planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. On the 11th of August, Moon in Scorpio sextiles Venus in Virgo. This transit is harmonious, promoting emotional connection and practicality. Deepen relationships through heartfelt conversations. Engage in activities that combine passion and meticulousness. Show appreciation through thoughtful, practical gestures. Improve both your emotional and physical environment. Enjoy the synastry between deep emotions and practical efforts. On the 12th, the Moon in Scorpio trines Saturn in Pisces. This transit is beneficial, bringing stability and emotional resilience. Find steadfast ways to handle your intense emotions at this moment in time. Engage in activities requiring commitment and persistence. Build on solid foundations for enduring success. Blend intuition with practicality for effective outcomes. Embrace emotional steadfastness as strength. On the 14th, Mercury retrograde enters Leo. Mercury is in detriment in Leo during this retrograde, bringing miscommunications and delays. Revisit and revise creative projects with a fresh perspective. Reflect on how you express yourself and make the necessary adjustments. Be patient with misunderstandings in social interactions. Use this time to plan future endeavors without rushing. Stay flexible and open to re-evaluating your priorities. On the 15th, Mars in Gemini squares Saturn in Pisces. This transit is challenging, creating tension between action and restriction. Balance your drive to act with the need for careful planning. Expect delays and use them as opportunities to refine your approach. Avoid impulsive actions that may lead to frustrations. Focus on perseverance and patience in achieving your goals. Recognize the importance of discipline and structure in your efforts. On the 16th, Mars in Gemini squares Saturn in Pisces. This transit continues to challenge, emphasizing the need for balancing action and restraint. Carefully plan actions to avoid setbacks. Use delays as moments to reassess and improve strategies. Maintain a calm and steady approach to overcome obstacles. Focus on long-term goals and steps needed to achieve them. Recognize and respect the need for structured discipline. On the 17th, the Moon in Aquarius is conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. This transit is intense, bringing emotional depth and transformative insights. Explore deep emotional truths and understand the underlying motivations. Engage in activities that promote self-awareness and transformation. Embrace change and let go of outdated emotional patterns. Focus on personal growth and emotional empowerment. Use this time to deepen your connections with an understanding of yourself and others. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big Cat Wave. Namaste. Grand Rising, Big Cat Fire Signs. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for messages for your next 7 days. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Big Cat Wave. Let's dive right in and unpack. Oh, you have a 6, darling dears. Oh, and you have a 6 on top. So we've got 2 6s on the tableau. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. It's about what? Beware of putting other people's needs in front of your own over the next 7 days. We've also got 6 and 6 at the side, darling dears. Good golly and gosh. The energy of the 6 is the 12th house. Pluto energy, darling dears. Okay, so the 12th house is about confinement. It can be about being stuck in a situation, unable to make a decision. For some, it could also represent mental health issues. Maybe somebody struggling with their mental health. Someone needs to check on them. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. The energy of the 2-6, darling dears, tells me that you are going to be having fortunate matters involving your business, whether it's going for a new job, a promotion. Maybe your entrepreneurial skill is having its what? Deja vu, darling dears. It's your day. The energy of the 6 also is a reminder. Be careful of people around you. Even though I say it's your day, be careful of people trying to hoodwink you, darling dears, into some investment that you're not sure about. Listen, make informed decisions. Lest you have worry for a lifetime, darling dears. Okay. The energy of the 6, you could be a life path 6 or a 33. It's represented by 6, 15 and 24 and the letters F, O and X. The number 6 is ruled by Venus. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Okay. Taurus and Libra. It rules the letters U, V and W. This is about money, as well as your relationships, darling dears. Maybe your relationship to money over the next 7 days. It tells me that you're a natural healer, darling dears, and possibly even a jester. People don't understand your level of humor, darling dears, or it's only for the refined minds. Your luckiest numbers will be 3, 6 and 9. Your luckiest days, Thursday, Friday and Sunday. Numbers to avoid are 1, 5 and 7. The number 6 is supported by the astrological aspect of a sextile. And we love a sextile. Why? Because it creates energy to flow evenly, darling dears. This energy is inclined to produce results that are in your favor. Okay. With the energy of the 6, darling dears, it tells me that you've learned from some kind of mistake in the past and you are bringing balance back into your life. It also speaks about responsibility possibly within a relationship. Tells me that you are going to be extremely protective and nurturing. Okay, more family orientated over the next 7 days. The energy of the 33 tells me that you are teaching someone or someone's a lesson, darling dears, as a spiritual teacher. It tells me with the spiritual teacher, tells me you've got the badass alchemist ways. You're using all of your tools, earth, air, fire and water. It speaks about your voice, darling dears. You have to elevate your voice in a profound way over the next 7 days. It could be on social media, in your community, it could be at work, darling dears, but it's about you, what's standing up for yourself and for what is right for your path. It's about you also sharing your unique gifts with others, learning to express your words, teach others, darling dears. Okay. Yeah, let's press on. Okay, so the energy of the 6, darling dears, is represented by a northwesterly direction, something coming in from that way or going towards that way, darling dears. The energy of the 6 represents helpful people coming in with what? Helping hands to help you get where you need to go. It also speaks about your spiritual life, darling dears. You having a keen focus on your spiritual life, looking at your ascension, how you've overcome certain situations. It also speaks about travel. So travel is definitely on your highway over the next 7 days. The energy of the 2, darling dears, speaks about travel. It speaks about gifts. It also speaks about business. Any form of business is going to be going in your favor. The energy of the 4, darling dears. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. It's about your communications. Maybe you've got some letters or calls or emails that you need to get out, or somebody needs to get towards you. It's definitely about something new coming into your life, darling dears, which is going to have a profound effect on your thinking. For some, this is the beginning of a love affair. Get their birth natal chart, look at their synastry chart, look at the look at the zodiac animals, darling, to see if they're compatible. Listen, you can all, it's all well and good to get into love and be all cozy, darling dears, but guess what? There may be a mask, brother. You check, darling dears. This is not the time for you to what? Leave it to caution and hope things will work out. Hope. Listen. Hope will have you on the rocks of life, darling dears, trying to understand what happened. Who did it? And did you call the police? Those kind of questions you'll be on, darling dears. Let's press on. Let's press on. So travel, gifts, romance, dating. So it speaks about a level of resilience that you're going to have. But this resilience is going to bring a level of transformation into your life. I love it. I don't hate it. Law number 25 of the 48 laws of power, recreating your identity. Okay, let's press on. Let's get your oracle ancestral message. We're going to use the soul cards. Excusez-moi s'il vous plaît. I get French sometime, you know. Maybe that sounded a little bit African. I don't even know. Listen, I'm Jamaican parentage, darling dears. I am 2nd generation, so I'm a Gen X. What is your oracle ancestral message for the next 7 days? Peace, darling dear, something that can't be bought or bartered. It also speaks about you being in a more peaceful place, possibly contacting your higher mind. Yes, baby, the crown chakra, being at one with your divine self. It also speaks about you having level to a level of wisdom over the next 7 days, darling dears. A situation that you're moving from, darling dears, there was lack of peace in that situation, lots of criticism, lots of disregarding your wants, your needs, your desires. It also speaks about you being more mindful going forward, darling dears, no longer disconnected from spirit. Peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. Oh my God, what's going on here? This doesn't want to receive cards. This is outrageous, darling dears. I don't know. I can see through it. Hold on a minute. I can see through it, so therefore it must fit. Oh my God. Look at this, darling dears. This is like a stumbling block in the way, darling dears, for you to what? Look deeply into a situation before making a final assessment. Okay, I see it now. Look. There's a little bit of wood in the way. Make sure you make a firm assessment of any situation coming towards you, darling dears, before making a final decision. That's in love, business, travel, all of it, darling dears. Make sure you're making it based on your own intel. Is it going to go through now? Oh, so much was in there, darling dears. So much. Make informed decisions. Base of your deck, darling dears, because doubt, remember what happened to doubting Thomas, darling dears. This is not the time for you to doubt your situation, your path, or where you're going in life, darling dears. Doubt is for the feeble-minded. That is where fear resides. And we as a big cat, we feel everything can rise. I release the need to know all the answers. You don't need to know all the answers, darling dears. Nobody knows all the answers. And if you should meet up on an individual that believes they know all of the answers, arch your back and run in the other direction, darling dears. Tinky winky styly. Why? They're a fool, and a fool will easily make many fools. Of those that wish to endure the foolishness. No, mate. You go forwards, never backwards. To the decks. Base of your deck, darling dears. We've got the Lovers, definitely in a relationship coming in for you, darling dears. The energy of Gemini, this also speaks about contracts. Gemini is also representative of the 3rd house, darling dears. So something to do with your ground transportation going really well. I told you travel's going to be going really well. Somebody's also going to be traveling by boat, and if you're asthmatic, make sure you bring whatever it is that you need to relieve your breathing blood, because it's very important that you keep breathing while you're here, darling dears. It's very important. Yeah. It also speaks about higher studies. Maybe somebody's going towards higher studies. This is how you're also going to be very creative, right, in how you express yourself over the next 7 days. Also something to do with your siblings, your cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews. Maybe they're watching you, darling dears, watching some kind of ascension of you. Can't believe it's you, darling dears. Well, guess what? They need suck it up, and then what? You know what that means, innit? Get out. Love it. I don't hate it. Something's going to be going on in your neighborhood, darling dears. A social action, something to do with people coming together in a community. Okay. Possibly coming from the area of, where did I say it was? Where did I say it was? The northwest. Something coming in from the northwest, where a community has to be what? Together, standing together over the next 7 days, darling dears. This also speaks about the information that you got coming towards you, darling dears. As I said, make sure you pay attention to the information coming in. Also, the information could be on the wings of a gossip, darling dears. A merchant of slander. So be very careful of what intel you put out there. Remember, when Big Cat move in silence, no one knows what's going on except the Most High, Father, God, Mother, Isis. But definitely a relationship coming in. I'll take this card. So you have a new relationship coming towards you, my fire signs. New relationship, okay. What's this? Yeah, you manifested this shit, darling dears. Did you do it under the energy of what? The 888? Yes, the Lion's Gate. This is a new beginning. This is going to be an aging difference. Somebody's going to be older, someone's going to be younger, darling dears. But it also speaks about helping hands. It also speaks about you deciding to take a leap in a new direction. The Magician is also air energy, darling dears. So you are under some kind of judgment that you was trying to get past. It also speaks about the logic you used in order to get to this situation where you are right now. One more card. Yeah, 5 of Wands, darling dears. Wherever you was before, darling dears, you was always in competition with others, or felt like you was in competition with others. There was lots of arguments, and for some there may have been some form of abuse in the situation. Well, guess what? You're not there anymore. Good golly and the gosh. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. It speaks about this conflict, darling dears. This competition. Tongue wrestling. So this is where all the gossip is coming on from past situations, darling dears. People still what? Getting off on your life, darling dears. If it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be a skeleton in the cupboard like you, the only one. Baby. Lots of gossip outside of yourself. Oh, Sun energy showed its face, darling dears. Don't worry about what's in the past, darling dears. Think about moving forward. The Sun energy on the Rider-Waite deck shows a brick wall behind you for what? The past you're putting behind you like a ponytail, darling dears, moving forward. For some, this new partnership that you're going into, it's going to produce a baby. Be careful if you don't want a baby during the month of August, okay? Okay. It also speaks about travel, some kind of holiday. Maybe you'll be meeting this person on a holiday. This person is a magician, so they are skilled in the ways of the world, darling dears. They understand how to manifest situations. But this is definitely moving away from competition, conflict, and confusion, bringing about that big C that we both love, which is what changed, darling dears. Change is definitely afoot. You are going to be motivated and creative over the next 7 days. Base of the deck, darling dears, and that's the truth roof. Getting over some kind of heartbreak, darling dears. But you're in the heart space. Why? Because you have peace, darling dears. This is going into a new situation without the baggage of the past, darling dears. Having taken the time to what? Heal thyself. Go into the DNS. What's that? The dark night of the soul. Had to look over my shoulder because it's not creeping up on me again. Blood. Rah. What's this dream? Why? It's the whisperings of Hannibal Lecter. Moving forward, darling dear. The 9th cup. Getting what you truly deserve. And it's the universe saying whatever you like. So as far as moving forward in a relationship, it does look good. But like I said, check out the intel. Don't just take things at face value. The magician could also represent hoodwincation of to the 10th power if you are not clear. The Ace of Swords fell on that situation. So if it's someone trying to hoodwink you, darling dears, read the room, shorty. Get their intel. If they're afraid to give you their intel, they know what's going on. They have magician energy, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. But overall, this is definitely a new relationship, one which is going to be more fulfilling, darling dears. Wherever you're going towards, wherever you was in previously, hey, you had to kiss many a frog to get to this position. And what position was that? The position where you felt like you don't need no one. You're running this life on your own, darling dears. When you get to this position, where you're accountable for all of your mistakes moving forward, learn these lessons, things will start opening up for you. Why? You are a manifestation, manifestor, darling dears, over the next 7 days. So your relationships are looking good, darling dears. Okay. What about your friendships? We might as well, seeing as we're already in. What about your friendships? Judgment is about to be called in a situation. Look, we just had the 9 of Cups up right now. It's in the reverse, darling dears. Yes. The 9 of Cups on its forehead, darling dears. On its forehead. This person is extremely what? They're lazy, lackadaisical. This is someone that doesn't defend you, because cups represent emotions, darling dears. You're calling time on a situation. Yes, they would like to come back to your situation. They will, of course they would. But look what they come back with. Bad luckiness, darling dears. This also speaks about someone going through some form of health situation at this moment in time. Pentacles represent mental health, financial health, needing a place to stay. All of the above, darling dears. Someone, a friend whom you are passing judgment on, and that is one of the words I called at the beginning. You're passing judgment on a situation. Don't go back to it, darling dears. That will be straight up what? Point A and point B, darling dears, which quickly leads into what? Dummy back territory. Law number 10 of the 48 laws of power. Let this friendship go, darling dears. Friend, whatever that situation was, let it go. The energy of the judgment tells me that you have a new beginning, a fresh start coming towards you. Yeah, for you. And for some, the judgment also speaks about a final exam that somebody's going through. I know this is not what you wanted to hear. Some finally, it didn't go very well, darling dears. Okay? But there's always what? Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Remember, don't give up, darling dears. You have to remember everything happens in a season. And sometimes when you have to go back and retake certain examinations, darling dears, it's because Divine wants you to learn the ins and outs, the instinct, the everything about it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. But definitely leaving a friendship that no longer serves you, darling. Who wants to be around the back, front, neck, stabber, going through the white meat, darling dears? No one. Not me, darling dears, not me. Leave the situation, transform your life. This is a life-changing opportunity. And as I said, if it's an exam that didn't go the way that you wanted, darling dears, this is all part of your transformation. Maybe it's going to set you on a path that is more aligned to whom you are at this moment in time. But it's definitely the rebirth of you. And somebody would like to come back and still be your friend. This bad lucky one. Okay. Let's get into your finances. And then we're out of here. So get great. So we've got love coming in. We see the resilience, not taking back what denied you as their friend, darling dears. And good for you, darling dears. Resilience and transformation for you. Oh, your finances. Look what turned over all on its lonesome. The Queen of Pentacles. You're doing very well, darling dears. You could be solo dolo. It tells me that you are a parent or you're about to be a parent, darling dears. But it also speaks about you being extremely nurturing, loyal. People come to you. They see you as a confidant. Split the deck. We've got the Temperance energy. I can't make this up. Peace meets peace, darling dears. Peace. Remember this throughout the week. This is also about you, what? Flying off the handle to people, darling dears, because Pentacles also represents online. In any kind of situation, remember to what? Use your intuition, your discernment, darling dears. Not every action requires not every action requires a counter action, darling dears. Be careful with your P's and Q's over the next 7 days. But your money, honey, balance is being restored. Was it hurrah? I love it. I don't hate it. New peaceful beginning. And never you forget, you're a fire sign. You have a foot in both worlds, darling dears. Access to the 3D and the 5D. Remember the magician energy. You called all of this in. Did you use the energy of the 888? I wonder. Hit me up in the comments, darling dears. Your money's looking good. What's on the base of this deck? The Emperor. Did I not say there's a partnership coming in, darling dears? And this is a match you don't see coming. A fated meeting is on the tableau, darling dears. Being blessed by the Most High. It also speaks about what you've been protected over the next 7 days. You have a decision to make, darling dears. Whether to turn back, go back to where you was, or continue forward. Choose wisely. Let's get one final card, and then we're out of here to get great. I'm gonna use this one. One final card for my fire signs for the next 7 days. Oh, fell off the back end, darling dears. Yeah, you went through something, darling dears. Impartiality also reminds me of what? The Judgment card in Tarot, darling dears. The energy of the 7 is what? Your one-to-one relationships. It also speaks about the backstabbation of it all. Whoever this person is, darling dears, yes, they're going through grief. They're going through grief because they can't F you over anymore. Bring this balance, this peace back into your life, darling dears. Know what's for you and what needs to get out and don't come back. It also speaks about you, what? Getting over a situation, darling dears. You've been through the worst. Okay, it's time for you to have your time in the sun, for want of a better word, darling dears. Be confident in the decisions that you make, darling dears. Continue to stand within your own truth, because you have a resolution coming towards you. This could also represent in what? A situation, a legal situation where you cried many tears. Well, balance is being restored, possibly in your favor. You have 2 windows at your back that are like Boaz and Jashin. Between 2 pillars, darling dears. It speaks about completion and beginning again. Divine is also offering 2 windows of opportunity. Pay attention to the light, darling dears. This is what? Take the first answer, not the second. On that note, I drops me mic. So love to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Big Cat Wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat. Cat, cat.